All right, let's get into it, Jeff. It's beautiful July 5th as we sit down here and record this awesome podcast YouTube show. Well, first and foremost, Jeff, I have to say,
wearing all black,
Aloha! Here with JC and Jeff.
We ain't no time for school today.
hitting bombs.
Hey, watch this punch cut knob wedge. Replace your Marshalls with Cart Girls. They're better looking. They're serving drinks.
Got to hit bombs off the tee.
Phil talking about a guy taking a shit in the cut.
Mahalo!
That's what we did fireside with Phil.
Fire the stick.
Hit bomb and attack the pin.
thank you to all our new listeners, subscribers to the podcast. Got to hang out with some of our new fans, old fans. We went down to Atlanta and got to experience some of the culture down there. We went to this rooftop bar thing and played mini golf. I never knew golf could go to the top of the world in beautiful Atlanta. But Jeff, how was your 4th of July, man?
Hey, it's been a long week, like I was telling you in the pre-show. I want to give a shout out to one of our boys, Jeremy Edwards. His birthday today. My pop's birthday tomorrow. So shout out to those guys. Big supporters, big fans of the Aloha Press. I had a good week. I'm ready for next week. I'll tell you that much.
I would tell Jeff, hey, I'm just gonna give you a thumbs up, buddy. Okay, it's if you want to learn more about that, you need to subscribe to our members only podcast, which is coming out here shortly. But Jeff, I mean, big 4th of July. Why not have a tournament in the heart of America? I mean, American Muscle, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, as we're sitting here on Monday recording this thing to celebrate an Aussie winning this beautiful event. Cameron Davis gets it done in a 5-hole playoff over Troy Merritt and my boy Joaquin Neiman, which I might have a hit out on because he just cost me several dollars. But Jeff, I mean, I know you watched a bunch of golf this weekend. It's Cameron Davis. I know nothing about him.
Either do I. But you know what? It was a really good final round. A lot of fireworks. I mean, 4th of July fireworks. It lived up to it, even without the big names, because guys were kind of, falling apart and coming back. I mean, Cam Davis, 3 holes to go, looked like he had no chance, right? It looked like Joaquin Neiman, Merrick, Lee Biota, these other guys were going to run away with it. Alex Noren, and then he goes and holes out, and then birdies 18, and he's in the playoff.
It's one of those things that you got to look at your celebration. If you hole out, you just bogeyed 16, okay? As Cameron Davis, it's like, oh, he's got no chance. They tune in, tape delay him, holing out from the 17th greenside bunker for eagle, and him and his caddy have this half-ass fucking celebration. If you just put yourself in fucking contention for your first PGA Tour victory here in the United States on July 4th, the America's best holiday, you would think you'd record or practice a better celebration with your caddy. Your caddy was so jacked up and you're giving this half-ass high five. Jeff, I just, the shot was an A, but the celebration was a D+ in my eyes.
Well, they missed on the high five, that's for sure. I do think, we talk about the golf jinx and, the announcers jinx because they always want to bring up when a guy, hasn't missed the putt inside 5 feet, fucking 38 tries or whatever. They always bring up these stats. Well, right before he holed out, they did an announcer's pick for next week. I don't know if you saw that. And all the announcers made their pick for who they think is going to win the John Deere. And fucking Dottie picked Cam Davis. He's out of it this week, but he's playing well. I think next week he's going to break through and get that first win. Then the motherfucker does that. It's the opposite of the jinx, the curse.
Oh, fuck. Well, Cam Davis has a new fan and his only fan in Dottie Pepper. It was one of those tournaments that I looked at and I realized, coming down the stretch, I'm headed to barbecues. I'm headed to, light shit on fire in my front yard, doing the real American thing as we set mortars off. I cannot have a 5-hole playoff, especially with my guy that's, in the mix. It was to a point where there was 17 players who had an opportunity to win this week. And the thing that I wish the PGA Tour would do, or maybe just the television set would do, was somehow tune in how much money these guys are missing. Because Jason Kokrak was in the mix. He had to get up and down for birdie to kind of get himself into contention. He had to birdie out or something. But then he 3-jacks on 17 and costs him, I would assume, $250,000. And it, gets himself out of a playoff and it looks like he was going to go murder someone. But I just wish they had that feature on the telecast.
we kind of talked about this in the past, doing something like that instead of, the FedEx Cup rankings when we get into the playoffs, how they change, shot by shot, hole by hole. Yeah, let us know the fucking money count, where they stand, because yeah, he fell apart. He missed a short one there coming down the stretch. I think it was on 17. But you had a lot of guys like Lee Biota, 3 putts on 17 for par. Alex Noren leaves a birdie putt to get to 18 short on 18 from like 8 feet, 9 feet. Guys cost themselves a lot of money, but nobody costs himself more than Joaquin Niemann, because that man, if you told him before he started the week, first off, JC picked you, which I thought was a fucking wild card. Don't know where you pulled him out of the hat. And then he goes out and fucking pretty much leads that tournament from start to finish. But if you told him you're going to fucking make 18 birdies this week and 0 bogeys and you're going to lose the golf tournament, he would have said, fuck you, no way. But then to bogey the first fucking playoff hole, I mean, you play fucking 72 holes without a bogey and then can't get her done in the playoff.
It was unbearable, because as I'm sitting there, like, I told my wife, we're gonna be late to the barbecue. I'm watching my boy Joaquin go shove himself into a playoff, and the putt on 18 in regulation, I thought was going in. He was trying to walk it in. And you look at the playoff and you realize, like, Joaquin Niemann's got the most experience. Like, he's the most polished player out there. He's hitting the ball 20 yards further than these guys. He's got like a chippy 9-iron, a pitching wedge into this freaking green, and he airmails the green into a shit line, and then just, looks like he blade chunked the chip to unfortunately not be able to get up and down to extend the playoff with Troy Merritt, which, by the way, most annoying guy I've ever seen play golf. And the only reason why I say he's the most annoying guy I've ever seen play golf isn't because of him actually playing golf. It's his stupid white putter. I can't stand that thing. I was getting like angry just watching him putt. The all white yes putter just drove me crazy. And we had to watch it for 5 holes, extended for another hour and a half. That are on the telecast.
Well, a couple of things. The white putter and Troy Merritt, I wasn't too mad about. All the pars in the playoff, I was mad about. Because I'm like you, I didn't have time for 5 fucking playoff holes to watch these guys 2-putt and get up and down. Somebody make a goddamn birdie. Cam Davis had birdie putts every hole. All he needed to do was make one of those sons of bitches. Luckily, we got it over with. But Joaquin Niemann, I haven't watched him play a lot of golf until this week, obviously, because you picked him and he was up towards the top. That guy, he needs to develop like a half shot, a fucking 3/4 shot or something, because he swings as hard as he can with every club.
He does. That's probably why I picked him. And he kind of doesn't give a shit. Like, the last time he was in a playoff was in I think it was out in Hawaii. He just didn't care. Like, he was gonna be in a playoff and he's like, I'd rather have lunch with my girlfriend than go practice. But yeah, so we got the beautiful Rocket Mortgage Classic, which I'm assuming was rather disappointed to have an Aussie as their champion on July 4th. Fireworks were definitely not there for him, but he played some good golf. I mean, shit, he made it pretty exciting for the most part. Jeff, what did you think about the fucking advertisements with the Rocket Mortgage Classic? It was like a giant red billboard all over that golf course. It was kind of, well, mind-numbing. Like, I kind of have a hatred towards the color red now.
See, red's my favorite color, so I was okay with it. I actually made a point Sunday to pause it, do some other things, and then come back in, so I didn't have to watch commercials or anything else. I just have to turn my phone off and tell people to leave me alone for a couple hours so that I can watch the golf without knowing who the hell wins. But I didn't mind it. I'll tell you what I did mind is that Bryson DeChambeau was fucking done after round 1. I mean, thank God for Kramer Hickok beating Phil. Otherwise, you would have got 2 bottles back, and the pendulum might have started to swing a little bit in your favor.
Yeah, it was one of those things that I'm sitting there on Sunday. I kind of forgot about our Phil Hickok bet, which Hickok apparently is a big deal now on the tour. While they're in this 5-shot playoff, he's getting more television time because he took second place last week. It just was one of those things. I'm like, fuck, like, with all the drama and everything going on with Bryson and Phil, I was not expecting to lose to a guy who was standing there and highlighting his t-shirt. It just kind of drove me nuts. But Rocket Mortgage Classic, I mean, before the tournament even started, we had drama. I mean, Bryson DeChambeau and Tim Tickler was broken up, and then we got to see the breakup extended through the entire weekend because they were he was the highlighted sponsor for every advertisement. It drove me fucking crazy. I was like, oh, we get to see Bryson and his ex-caddy all weekend. It just drove me nuts. Jeff, the story broke, and it was just kind of weird. Like, apparently Tim just kind of quit on him. You would think you would choose a different week to quit.
It was very weird considering they showed a bunch of coverage Wednesday of them playing the Pro-Am and screwing around with Phil. Something happened that night. We know Bryson didn't get liquored up and say something he should have, because he's sitting there eating bananas and drinking fucking milkshakes. But maybe Timmy got upset at him. I don't know. I knew that once I heard that, I knew my pick had no chance because there's nobody that's gonna be able to go out there and deal with his shit and get him around a golf course. Especially you look at it, how bad he was. He shot 23 under there last year. He shot 1 under, I think, this year. And didn't make the cut. I mean, I was doomed from the get-go.
It was not a good look for sure. It's one of those things that you realize, and sure enough, someone was quick to note. Okay, I think it was Wednesday night after the news broke. Someone had posted on the Detroit Metro Craigslist. Apparently Bryson posted a nice Craigslist ad. Said caddy needed ASAP with an understanding of physics in Highland Park. We're looking for a PGA Tour caddy with at least 2 years experience, willing to work insane hours. The job is with one of the world's smartest and best golfers who pays the standard caddy rates. No benefits and plenty of extra gear as long as same length clubs, broken drivers, and newsboy caps are your thing. Other details to include, must be willing to work past dark daily and take the blame for all missed shots. Must enjoy instant whining even when you've missed another dinner reservation. You must have working knowledge of flight scope, vector green reading, a protractor, and how NetJet's fractional ownership works. Must be willing to wash a Bentley in your spare time when not at the driving range. Watching the boss. You must have a working knowledge of physics and GoPro for filming social media content. Must not be vaccinated for COVID-19 until the player publishes his paper on mRNA safety. Must be able to demonstrate deep disdain for television cameramen and Brooks Koepka. Must have some rules of golf familiarity and be able to identify all types of red fire ants. For more information, contact the Rocket Mortgage Tournament office and ask for Caddy Master. Use code GOMACROBAR. It's compensation is 10% for a win, $2,000 a week, and lots of Cobra/Puma/Bridgestone hand-me-downs. Jeff, I want to meet the individual who posted this ad because it is fucking hilarious.
Well, and here's the thing: nobody wants to work for that guy. Like,
no, not with that resume.
They had to bring somebody out of the Cobra tent to fucking caddy for him for those 2 days. Nobody's going to want to work for Bryson DeChambeau, but there was somebody else that took a good little opportunity to take a shot at him, and that was fucking Brooksy. Immediately upon hearing this news, all of a sudden it's just time for him to do caddy appreciation posts and how much he loves his caddy, how great their relationship is. So the drama continues. But here's the thing: in all reality, though, with the Open coming up in the Olympics, Bryson's got to figure out something because he obviously can't do it on his own, and he can't do it with these hand-me-down guys. He's going to have to go get on his hands and knees and beg fucking Timmy to come back and caddy for him.
Something, because Tim is the only guy who could actually put up with him, because it was a struggle watching him trying to figure out numbers. Like, you realize, like, Bryson claims to be some scientist. He could not figure out, the plus minus on the fucking little on the scorecard book. It cracked me up with the yardages. He's trying to pace off yardages from sprinklers and was getting confused. You realize that Bryson's caddy was definitely invaluable. But after working 8 years together, God, I think it's a good thing that Tim just kind of cashed in and said, "Hey, bro, I'm done before I do something stupid on the television cast." Because it was I can't imagine being a good relationship, especially when you're blamed for every bad shot, out there. But that's your news on Bryson. But I did enjoy the Brooks Koepka. Yeah, caddy day. Put it in the books. We'll I'm sure Brooks's caddy enjoyed that. All right, moving on. It's the drama did not stop right there with Brooks and Bryson. Phil Mickelson, made the cut, but also was making some cuts at some journalists. Jeff, I'm sure you're aware, but for the listeners, Phil Mickelson apparently had a story break out from I think it was from the Detroit, I don't know, but the Detroit Ledger, from a courtroom reporter, about him losing $500,000 to some gangster 20 years ago. Been holding on to this story for 3 years now, and finally broke it out. And apparently Phil Mickelson was rather upset about it, and took to social media claiming that the reporter was damaging the tournament and the sponsors and the city and the charities. Jeff, did Phil go did Phil go over the line here?
Well, I'm assuming that the reporter held this in his back pocket and he benefited from it in some way in his profession. Because otherwise, it's really a non-factor. This shit happened back in like 07. Some guy stiff Phil on a bet he made for $500,000. Who cares? I don't even know why Phil went crybaby on it. Phil should have just fucking ignored it. To get on there and say, "You're so mean, I'm never coming back." Like, just ignore it. Who cares? It's old news. Like that guy means absolutely nothing to you. Whoever wrote this article, it's old news.
It was, and you got to look at your source. You're a courtroom reporter. I'm assuming he's the same guy that does those like half-ass shitty sketches, like the coloring book sketches of the people in the courtroom after someone's getting sentenced. It's just, who gives a shit? Plus, it should boost your street cred. I mean, well, maybe not. I mean, it's you're taking advantage of Phil. Like, you didn't put a hit out on someone for this guy. $500,000 back in 2007. I'm assuming wasn't a big deal, but I make a $500,000 wager and I win. I don't think, if I'm too scared to confront the guy, I'm not going back to the same city 20 years later.
Well, obviously Phil doesn't care about the money. He's going to make 10 times that fucking Tuesday night playing golf with fucking Bryson DeChambeau, Aaron Rodgers, and fucking Tom Brady.
So do you think it was like one to just drum up more attention for Phil? I'm assuming that's what it is, right? He's got to be just drumming up more attention. One, for the that PGA Tour money at the end of the year to be the most popular Instagram, Twitter influencer, but this had to be just another ploy to get more attention for the Tuesday night deal.
I don't know if Phil was behind it. I enjoy gambling stories. I enjoy reading about fucking Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, good and bad. So you would think this would be something that would pique people's interest, but this is so old and just doesn't matter. And Phil didn't get in any trouble. Whoop-de-doo, he got scammed out of some money. People get scammed every fucking day. It's not a big deal.
But you can't go to the questionable bookies, like it's
make better decisions.
Make better decisions, Phil. And what I gotta think, like, more of these like little stories that we like get these nuggets about Phil Mickelson. One, I'm a bigger fan. Like, I would be a bigger fan if he just was acting a little bit more mature in regards to this dumbass reporter holding on to the story for 3 years. Like, Phil, who gives a shit? Like, I want to hear more of these stories. I would love to hear some, sketchy Phil Mickelson betting stories. Like, what else has he bet on? Like, he's had to have gone to some sketchy countries. Maybe bet on some cockfighting, maybe some midget wrestling, something weird, right? He's got to have more dirt out there.
Hopefully someday he writes a book when it's all said and done and all the real Phil comes out.
Because that's what we really want, Phil. We want the real stuff. We want the Michael Jordans of the world. But Jeff, I gotta ask, like, the more of these Rocket Mortgage Classics that happen in the world of golf, you kind of realize, like, the scariest part about this like weird messed up season these last couple of years, with the COVID and the nonsense and the Ryder Cup getting pushed back, there's a few players out there that have multiple wins these last couple seasons that might be taking some spots on the Ryder Cup. I just wanted to run down a small list of multiple winners this year. And can you even imagine these guys on the actual Ryder Cup? So I'm just going to start at the top. 2 victories, Harris English, Stuart Sink, Bryson DeChambeau, Jason Kokrak, and Patrick Cantley. These are not your typical Ryder Cup guys, right?
No, they're not. And actually, when I was looking at the top 10 in the fucking FedEx today, and you see Harris English, Kokrak, and those guys on there, do you really want them on your Ryder Cup team? I mean, over some of the guys that might not be that highly ranked right now, but have the history and the pedigree. I don't know. That's where it's going to come down to those captain picks and who actually gets to play. Just because you make the team doesn't mean you get to play all the time, So,
well, I feel like maybe it'd be a good thing. Like Jason Kokrak, good God, like, who the hell wants to be paired with that guy? Like Harris English, God, I don't think he's going to be faded by anything. And Stuart Sink, God, he's old as dirt. He might not even recognize where he's playing it. Jeff, but I mean, moving on, I thought it was kind of an interesting story that popped up. Moving on, I mean, as we wrap up this week, we've got some other incredible news. Your Masters champion might not be going to the Open Championship because he has COVID. As the I don't know what we call the British Open anymore. The British Open, is it the Open Championship? It's got to be a huge disappointment if Hideki's not there, right?
I think so. I hope he makes it. I mean, I don't know if that. I have no idea what his record is in Open Championships, but I don't know if that type of play, those type of golf courses, really suit his style that much. I don't know if he's like a low ball guy at all, or he seems just too much of a full swing high ball guy. Like that wouldn't suit him anyway. So I don't know if he's even that sad about missing it.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's like it's kind of cold out there. It's kind of chilly. I'll skip this week. But I mean, with all the drama that happened, at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, we've got the match, which is back. It's gonna be when you're listening to this episode, it's gonna be within here in the next few hours. It's gonna be out on July 6th out at the Reserve at Moonlight Basin out in Big Sky, Montana. Jeff, you got a match between looks like DeChambeau and Rogers and Phil Mickelson and Brady, playing against these two. Is this something that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to 3/4 of it. I'm looking forward to Phil Mickelson, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. I just feel like Bryson DeChambeau. I mean, he's gonna have to do something special for me to think that he belongs in something like this, because the other guys can all talk trash. They're all proven to talk trash, and they can be funny. I just don't see it out of Bryson. I don't see it in his commercials. I don't see it in his interviews. I don't see it in his fucking social media. Like, I don't know how. I get he's a big name and he's popular right now and he's got his battle with Brooks, but is he the best thing for the match? I don't think so.
It's one of those things you realize, like, you kind of have to be a personality. Like, you can't just do your normal thing, Bryson. Like, he doesn't do well in interviews. He doesn't do well out on the golf course. Like, fuck, he's kind of a crybaby and shit. He skipped out. I mean, he was the defending champion, like the most highest paid Rocket Mortgage fucking player, and he skips out on media day. Like, he skips out getting interviewed on the media on Thursday and Friday after he plays like shit, missing out with his caddy, and now he's gonna show up to the match where, God, I can't imagine him being entertaining at all. I mean, they're gonna have some trash talking, and to be quite honest with you, like, I feel like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers is gonna give him a load of shit just based on his reaction and how he's been dealing with the Brooks incident.
Oh, I think there's going to be some good moments in this. I'm looking forward to watching it, but I highly doubt that Bryson's going to bring anything to this with his game or with his talk.
It's one of those things, like, I gotta ask, like, how many times do you think the announcers are going to talk about how far Bryson and Phil Mickelson hit the ball? Is it going to be like over and under? Is it going to be like 100 times, 50 times? Like, what do you think?
Well, and that's going to be most of their trash talk, because they're going to play different tees than the quarterbacks, and they're going to talk about driving it past them from the back tees and how far Bryson hits it and how far Phil hits it at 50. Yeah, that's going to be a big part of the talk. That's the only problem with the match, is they've always got to have that filler, because there's not other golfers on the course. There's not other shit to talk about. So they just kind of, piecemeal it together as they walk down the fairway. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm looking forward to, hey, golf on a Tuesday night, not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I mean, for the most part, you're gonna have Charles Barkley back, in the commentating booth. You're gonna also have Shayna Woods, Larry Fitzgerald, and Trevor Immelman as your analysts out on a Tuesday. I mean, it looks like, apparently this is a popular golf course. Jack Nicklaus design. They've got a par 5 that's 777 yards. I'm assuming that's going to be some gimmicky hole, but I mean, for the most part, the matches in general, I think they've been okay. I know the DeChambeau, or no, not the DeChambeau. It was who was it? It was Ricky. No,
Peyton?
it was Wolf and Dustin
Oh.
Johnson and the other two knuckleheads.
That one was not good.
The only reason it was good is because we didn't have live sports, and that was like the first thing came back. That was like the only good thing about it.
I really enjoyed Tom Brady last time he played because he started out looking like the most amateur shank hacker I've ever seen in my life. And then as soon as people started talking shit to him and the Twitter feeds and the social media started talking shit, Tom fucking stepped up. Tom stepped up in the rain. He holed out for Eagle, made a bunch of people pay money. He started talking shit to Chuck, telling him to suck it. It was good. It was good for TV. I like it. Tom's fiery as they come, and Aaron Rodgers is fiery too. So it could be some fireworks out there.
I think Aaron Rodgers got the short end of the stick. Like Aaron, signed up for this thing, not knowing he was going to be paired with, thinking maybe it was Tiger Woods or anyone else besides Bryson. And then he's like, wait a minute, what? What the fuck? Wait a minute, I get paired with this knucklehead. And Aaron Rodgers is a fucking good golfer. I know he's I think he's a scratch handicap. I mean, when he goes out to Edgewood and plays at the American Century Classic and at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, he always plays really well. But with his drama with the Green Bay Packers and him not knowing if he's gonna play or not, and then Bryson and the fucking caddy and Brooks, God, it looks like these two are gonna be the butt of many jokes, right? I mean, Tom Brady's gotten his number, 7-8 times. I mean, in the playoff season. So it's the one person I feel bad for is Aaron Rodgers, to be quite honest with you. I think he got the short end of the stick, and hopefully he has a few cocktails to enjoy himself.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Aaron's a drinker. We know he likes to drink whiskey. I hope that they give him a few out there. I hope he's got a little a flask somewhere, a sneaky bottle. Get liquored up, get a little loose, have fun. Maybe tape delay it a little bit if you're worried they're going to say something inappropriate. But let us have some fun and talk some shit.
It's, yeah, I think it's going to be good. Tom Brady, good God. How bad is he going to play this time? I know he played okay, but, he's not a good golfer at all. And he's submitting videos of him sinking 45-foot putts. I don't know. We'll see if he steps. I think he will. Maybe he'll step up and play some good golf. It's we got some odds for you though. Looks like Vegas came out. It's DeChambeau, Rodgers are 10-19 to win over Mickelson and Brady, 29-20. I don't know what that means. DeChambeau and Rodgers are the favorites. That's all I know.
All right. Well, since you won last week, and we're obviously going to make a pick later on in the show for the deer. Yeah. There's only two teams in this fucking event, so you get first pick. Who are you going to take? I'll take the other.
Well, not really understanding the format, which is always they always do some gimmicky things. I got to go with DeChambeau and Rodgers because Rodgers is a good golfer. Fuck, he's probably not going to play in the NFL next year. He's probably playing a lot of golf. I know Tom's dumbass is probably still doing wind sprints and he's on some keto-friendly Tom Brady diet. So, and Phil Mickelson, it's Tuesday. You know what he's doing. He's been fasting for the last 72 hours. So I'm sure his energy level is just going to be on fucking fumes. He's been drinking coffee and shit. So, and I'm pretty sure DeChambeau is just going to shut the fuck up and just hit it really long ways. Yeah, I'm going with DeChambeau and Rodgers. I think is what I got to go with.
I appreciate that because I didn't want to have to sit in front of the TV and root for Bryson after what he did to me last week. So I'm fucking all in on the Phil train right now, baby.
It's gonna be a good show. I'm looking forward to. I love golf during the week. It's something that it's gonna be live at 5 p.m. Eastern on TNT, which is gonna be a fun show. I'm looking forward to it. Another exciting show here on the in the United States. 1 week before the Open Championship is gonna be the John Deere Classic on beautiful Illinois at Silvis at TPC Deere Run. Your defending champion back in 2019 is Dylan Fratelli. Jeff, the John Deere. We're going to see a lot of tractors. That's all I know. Okay, that's all. A lot of green stuff. What do you think about this event? Is it does this event make your is your tractor sexy? I can't remember the country song, but what do you think?
That's some Kenny Chesney right there. You're thinking of, but. And Jason Aldean's got a big green tractor song. Everybody's got these tractor songs, country boys. The only thing that comes to my mind when I think of the week of the John Deere Classic, outside of big green and yellow tractors, is fucking Jordan Spieth pulling out from the bunker, getting his first fucking PGA Tour win. That's the only thing that comes to mind. I don't even think he's playing this week. So this tournament, really, I don't care. It's the week before majors. We got the match. We've got the 4th of July holiday that just wiped us out. I'm making a dumbass pick this week. Like, I'm not even going in the top fucking 25, I don't think, in the power rankings. So I'm going on for a long shot, kind of like you did last week.
Yeah. Who do you got? Who do you got this week?
Well, you get to pick first.
I get to pick?
You can have both picks first.
It's been 8 weeks since I got to pick first. Okay, yeah. It's been a while. All right? I kind of forgot. I'm gonna go with someone who plays really well when there's a really shitty field. He usually steps up and plays really good golf because he's to be honest with you, he's like the best average golfer when it comes to the B class field, because most of those guys, they're going to be out there playing the Irish Open, I think it's called. I can't remember. But it's I'm going to go with Daniel Berger. Okay, Daniel Berger's he's the top ranked guy.
He's the favorite.
Yeah, he's the favorite. 9-1. 9-1 in the Vegas odds. I'm going with double to get it done this week out at the Deere Classic. Who do you got this week?
That's a fucking great pick. I mean, when you look at it, if you're really putting money on it, which we're putting bottles, but that's the guy to fucking pick this week. I was thinking about a guy like Pat Perez, been playing well. I mean, not winning any tournaments, been playing pretty well, but I'm going with a long shot. I don't know why I saw his name. Old timer was like, fuck it, give it to me. Steve Stricker. Fucking, he's in the field. I think he's like 40-1. He doesn't really have a chance, but I'm going with old Steve.
Jeff, what's shocking is that's the kind of guys Daniel Berger beats. Okay, it's because Steve Stricker, shockingly, he's 41-1. Like that's incredible. He's above Zach Johnson, Troy Merritt, who just Doug Jim, Harold Varnell III. That's all the people I actually know. I think it's a good pick. I mean, probably shorter golf course, probably going to go out there and make a bunch of birdies. Couple of notables that's going to be in the field. Brian Harmon, 14-1. Russell Henley, Sungjae Im, 16-1. A lot of really good talent out at the Deere. Kevin Streelman, Cameron Davis. I mean, you got to like Cameron Davis, right? Maybe going back to that. Siwoo Kim at 27-1. Jeff, I'm going to throw a little curveball on you because I've been hurting, right? I'm down. I thought I was going to be down 3. Still down 8 in the race to the bottle, which at some point in time I'm gonna have to pay up, which is gonna be at the Aloha Press Classic coming in October. But I gotta ask you, I mean, a big European Tour field this week at the Airbnb and DN Scottish Open. Let's call it the Scottish Open. Bunch of guys are over there in preparation for the Open Championship, which has not been held for a couple years now. It's always usually a pretty good field. It's usually a pretty good event. Do you have any clue who's playing in it? And do you want to make a third wager?
So I did zero research on it. I do know that it is a big event. And a lot of times the guys go over there, and the guys that play well in that tend to play well in the Open Championship. I'm going to take a wild guess based off what I saw last week and who I hope might be in the field. If I'm wrong, and we'll have to redo this. But I'm gonna go with a guy like Ricky Fowler. I hope he's over there playing it, but I'm going with Ricky.
Ricky Fowler. All right, let's see if Ricky Fowler is even in the notables. I don't see him in the notables.
It was a long shot.
That's definitely long. Do you have a backup long shot? I'll give you 2 shots at it. I mean, it's
yeah, I do. Richard Bland.
Richard Bland. Who's Richard Bland?
Don't you worry about it.
We got the Richard Bland. Let's pull up the old God, I can't pronounce this name to save my life. Good old Aberdeen. God, I'm not very smart. I've decided. It's let's see here. Do we have a Ricky Fowler in the mix? Let's see here. I don't know how to pull up. This is horrible for the audio experience. I guarantee it. If everyone listening to this right now, hang on just like 10 seconds. I'm probably not going to edit this out just because it's way funner to listen to me just banter and apparently mispronounce the simplest words in the world. And of course, the EuropeanTour.com is just not very easy to. There, player name. Let's go, Ricky. We got no Ricky Fowler this week, but who did you say? What was his name?
Richard Bland.
Richard Bland. Oh, Richard Bland. Didn't he just win like a couple weeks ago? Like last week, maybe?
He was up near the top of the U.S. Open for a while until he had a bad Sunday.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Didn't he like snap No, he didn't do that. Richard Bland. Okay. That's a great pick, Jeff. Right, I think that's awesome. I'm going to go with someone who a guy like Rory McIlroy?
No,
I'm not going Rory McIlroy. His hometown. Yeah. No, I'm gonna go Justin Thomas. Like, you haven't seen him in a while. He usually plays pretty good.
All right.
I mean, I wanted to go Lee Westwood. I figured Lee Westwood feel right at home, but I feel like he's gonna be bareback on a horse, drinking wine with this humongous gut, which living my life, I feel in like 10, 15 years, I want to look like Lee Westwood. I've decided,
Hey, he's winning. He's winning. He's got a new wife, new wife. He got the gut. He's still playing golf. He's playing good golf. He reminds me like of a younger, what's his name? The guy who smokes cigars, has the ponytail, gives two shits on the fucking Champions Tour. Miguel.
Miguel
Angel Jimenez.
Yeah. Miguel. My favorite thing about Miguel is he's willing to fight other American golfers, which is just awesome. He almost fought Keegan Bradley one day, way back when Keegan Bradley was kind of a hot shot. All right, so we're gonna put you down, Richard Bland over Justin Thomas. Okay.
My picks do not look that good this week. It's probably gonna be down to 5. It's good for you though.
I don't know why you're giving up on me. It's you were on a run like no other. As soon as you let your wife pick for you, she kind of took it out of your hands when you made the Bryson pick.
Well, you know what? We'll see. We'll see. Tuesday's going to be a kind of a sign for me. If I get the W with Phil on Tuesday and I'm up 1 before we even get into the weekend, I'm feeling all right.
I think you're going to feel really good. I'm going to be rather disappointed in good old Aaron Rodgers, the hometown boy of Chico. What else we got? This is one of those weeks that you kind of forget about, and then you turn on Golf Channel, NBC, and realize that they're in South Lake Tahoe this week. It's the American Century Classic. They're sharing the same venue as the Aloha Press Classic and up at Edgewood Tahoe. Jeff, this is one of those events that you tell people like, hey, we're hosting an event. And they're like, oh, where is it? And you're like, it's at Edgewood. They're like, the famous place that they hold the event for the American Century Classic, like where Jerry Rice shows up and also Aaron Rodgers. Pretty exciting, right? This is a good event.
Well, absolutely. It's the best celebrity event by far. 1, because of the location, and 2, because of the people that get to play in it. But we were just up there a few weeks ago. They were getting ready for it. The course looks beautiful. It is going to be sweltering hot here in California, in Northern California this week and this coming weekend. So they're going to probably have, I wouldn't be shocked to see it in the upper 70s, low 80s up there. So they're going to have some beautiful weather. The ball's going to go an absolute mile. Something that intrigues me, and I don't know if Annika played. I think she played in it last year, Annika Sorenstam. But
okay.
I don't see how she doesn't go out there and fucking beat these guys' ass, especially at altitude. She's too good for that. She needs to win this year.
Well, and I gotta ask, is she playing from like the red tees, like the the Aloha Press tees, or where's she playing at? Is she playing it all the way back with defending champion Marty Fish?
Well, those fuckers aren't playing it all the way back. They're playing essentially the white tees. They make that course gettable for them. I don't see how she doesn't fucking beat them. Like, it's on her this year.
I would be shocked if she doesn't go out there and shoot something crazy like a 63, 64, tie like the course record or something. Because the people that she's going to be battling, like Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Timberlake, Larry the Cable Guy. If she doesn't beat Larry the Cable Guy, there's something wrong with her. Charles Barkley's going to be there, Joe Buck, and I think even Steph Curry's going to be there. It's she's got to go low. God, she I mean, fuck, she made the cut in an LPGA Tour event after not playing in an LPGA Tour event like for like 10 years. I think she's gonna absolutely destroy the golf course.
I hope so. I hope she goes out there and fucking kills him, beats Tony Romo, beats all those guys. I'll enjoy watching it. I encourage everybody that plays in the Classic to watch it because give you a little head start on the course and maybe take your notes, see how the course is playing. It's going to play fast and hard come October when we get up there.
It's the golf course is in perfect shape. I can absolutely contest to that. It's if you're in the area, I would go to the event. I know they're gonna have fans this year. They didn't have fans last year. It's one of those. It's a really cool experience. Maybe get out of the heat in beautiful California, but it's fun to be around those celebrities in those groups. I mean, I would stay wickedly away from Charles Barkley just because he might kill you with his drives, but I'm looking forward to watching the event. I always enjoy just like kind of the atmosphere and like just the way they interact with the fans and the 17th hole and the 18th hole that just turned into an absolute party, which is always entertaining. Plus, it's a bigger event than the Korn Ferry Tour, which is exciting.
Oh, it is. It's going to get primetime coverage on NBC. We know that. But the one thing about that event, when you're talking about going to it, if you're up there with a group of your friends, the nightlife's even better because those guys go run the casinos, they run the restaurants, they bring a crowd everywhere. I mean, even if you're not a gambler, just go in there and watch them play. Watch them throw money around that we can only dream about, playing $25,000 hands of blackjack and just doing stupid shit. I mean, it's things you're never going to see. Hey, you never know. We had a buddy of ours run into Aaron Rodgers in the restroom one year. They might buy you a drink. It's just a good time. It's a fun time up in Tahoe. And it's kind of the same atmosphere and energy that we bring up there in October, just minus the celebrities.
It's we have celebrities up there. We're just not well known yet. It's we're celebrities in our own right. It's it's you go up there and you realize like those guys, they're not that different, and especially in Tahoe for whatever reason, like it doesn't carry the same like craziness. You'll have your typical like guys who want them to sign a bunch of shit, but it's you can really like. We interacted with Jerry Rice and his caddy at the restaurant while we were at the tournament. And shit, Jerry Rice is like one of his entourage got into a fist fight with some chick. It was crazy. You could see all kinds of fun stuff, which is pretty cool. Go check out the American Century Classic. It's gonna be a good time.
Last time I was there, I was eating Fat Burger at fucking 3 a.m. with Steph Curry and his mom. Had him sign a $10 bill. Like stupid shit happens. You get drunk and stupid shit happens. So
that's awesome. It's so looking forward to that. A lot of golf to watch, Jeff. You can literally stay up for 24 hours and watch just endless amount of golf this weekend. I'm looking forward to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to the American Century Classic, and then the actual the match this week, and then actually the European Tour. I think the European Tour is going to be a great eye-opening event because fuck, we haven't seen a lot of European Tour events since the whole COVID thing, and the Open Championship coming up in a week or so. Looking forward to the John Deere. Good God,
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
I picked the over 50 crowd this week. All 3 of my fucking picks are over 50.
You are correct. It's you got the geriatric crew this week. So pretty exciting. It's something just popped up, Jeff, and I think it's notable. It's been I've been hit on about it quite a bit. Not to bring too many people down. There was an incident not down the street, like 30 minutes from where I live, out at Pine Tree Country Club, out in Georgia. It's one of the head golf pros was murdered, and then also the owner of this vehicle. And there was a big incident. It's all over the news, but there is a GoFundMe for golf. Gene Siller. If you just Google Gene Siller, go make a donation to help out his family. It was pretty tragic. It was horrible what took place down the street. So we weren't going to talk about it, but I figured at the end of the show it's something that needs to be addressed. It's a horrible story. The dude was like 40 years old, had 2 kids. Pretty crazy that you go into the golfing world as you would think that would be like kind of like one of the safest career paths you could go, and then all of a sudden you're confronting someone who just murders someone and you get popped, and it sucks. So with that being said, not to bring down the show, it just it's just a sad event.
No, it kind of teaches you a lesson though. You never know what life's going to bring you, right? Live every day to the fullest, have fun, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, say yes. Everybody puts things on the back burner and says no to things because it's too much money or they don't have enough time or vacation. Just say yes. Say yes to your friends. Say yes to your family. Have a good time and enjoy your life because you never know when your number's going to get called.
It's Jeff, you're absolutely right. And more news is breaking. It was actually 3 people who were murdered. So to touch on what Jeff just said, it's your life is incredibly short and you don't know when your number's being punched. So it's way too short. So enjoy the people around you, enjoy your company, enjoy our podcast, enjoy the show. Come join us, party with us here in October, October 9th and 10th. We're going to be hosting a golf tournament where we will have plenty of guns at it. It's we would absolutely defend our golfers. So with that being said, Jeff, on a more positive note, to end the week, this is I think this has been a good episode. Anything to wrap up with before we check out?
Just tell everybody the website. I'm just talking to JC about it pre-show for the Aloha Press Classic, signups, everything that's coming together. Keep an eye on it. I'm sure you'll start seeing it on social media here shortly, and we'll fill that bitch up and we'll get after it in October. Yeah.
So really appreciate you guys always listening, subscribing. Leave a comment. I would love for you guys to leave a comment on the podcast, Apple Podcasts or Spotify to continue to grow our audience. And I appreciate everyone, all the old listeners, new listeners, and people who have supported us through this whole journey. It's again, look out for that OnlyFans or that members only podcast, which we'll do shirtless here shortly. So really appreciate it, Jeff. As always, hit bombs, attack pins, and Aloha Press, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, brother.
Later, buddy.
Wearing all black,
Aloha! Here with JC and Jeff.
Ain't no time for school today.
hitting bombs.
Hey, watch this punch cut lob wedge. Replace your Marshalls with Cardinal. They're better looking. They're serving drinks.
Got to hit bombs off the tee.
Phil talking about a guy taking a shit in the cut.
Mahalo!
That's what we did fireside with Phil.
Fire the stick.
Hit bomb and attack the pin.